Hello everyone, I am Teacher Malu from the Campus Language Center and welcome back to our channel. Today guys, I will be sharing to you a lesson on the topic auxiliary verbs. So let's get started. Okay, so what is the meaning or what is the definition of auxiliary verbs? When we say auxiliary verbs, they are useful. It is because they express the verb tense of a certain sentence. There are many auxiliary verbs in the English grammar. However, today I will be telling you some of it and we will focus in the do forms. Okay, so we can have the have, be, may, will, shall, and can. Okay, and again, as what I told you a while ago, we are just going to focus in the do form. So what are examples of these do forms? We can have the do, the does, and the did. Okay. So what are their usage in the English grammar? When we want to write sentences or we want to talk about them, we are just going to bear in mind that they are useful to express the negative and when we want to write and ask questions. Moreover, you have to be very careful that whenever you use do or does, they are just useful for simple present sentences. And when we talk about did, this is useful for simple past sentences. So when we say past, from the word itself, it is about a situation or an action that has been completed or already finished. Okay. In addition, when you are going to use auxiliary verbs in the do form, you have to be very careful about the subject because we can have two, we can have the singular and the plural form. So in here we have singular and we have got plural. So when we say singular, it's only one. And when we say plural, it refers to two or more subjects. So what are subjects? When we say subjects, they are the doers of the action or an action in a certain sentence. For example, in here we have Ray doesn't watch TV during weekends. Where is the subject? We have Ray. This is the subject. And for the second sentence, they don't eat much meat. Where is the subject? The subject is of course they. As I mentioned a while ago, they are the doers of the action in those sentences. Okay, so now let's continue. Singular and plural. So how to use and how to emphasize the auxiliary verbs. So in here guys, when you would want to use the does, like here, the subject must be singular. So in other words, singular is for the auxiliary verb does. And when we talk about plural, we must use the auxiliary verb do. Okay? But don't be confused in my examples. I am using the negative form because of the word not. So these are the auxiliary. But don't be confused guys because there are other verbs in these two example sentences. Okay, we have got in the first example, Ray doesn't watch TV during weekends. You can have in here the verb watch. This is what we call the main verb. Okay, and again, this is the auxiliary verb. In the second example, again, they don't eat much meat. We also have the main verb, which is eat, and the auxiliary verb, the negative don't. And then guys, this is the common mistakes of students. Because when they use auxiliary verbs, they are sometimes changing the main verb form. Like this is a very big mistake Some students would say, Ray doesn't watch TV during weekdays. It's wrong because you are trying to change the main verb. Again, it must be in the base form. It means in the original form. In the second example, they don't eat much meat. It's wrong. It must be they don't eat much meat. Do you understand? Moving on, we are going to have the auxiliary verb do or does in a question form. Okay, because I told you a while ago, we can use the auxiliary verbs in expressing the negative. We are done with the negative and now we are having the question. So it is the same as what I told you a while ago. Like for example here, does she eat peanuts? We have got the subject she, so we have to use the singular auxiliary verb does. And we must not forget that we must not change the form of the main verb. Okay, and then teacher, how to make yes or no question using the auxiliary verbs. It is so easy, guys. You're just going to move the auxiliary verb and it must go before the subject. As you can see in here, in the first two examples, we have got the subject first, the auxiliary verb, and the main verb. But look at in the question form. We have got the auxiliary verb first, we have got the subject as the second, and the main verb as the third. So, it's so easy, right? Okay. Now, that's an example for singular. We can also have the plural. Don't be confused, you can also use people's name. Not only pronouns like they, he, or we. You can use other names. Like for example, we will be using the do. Do your mom and dad go to the cinema every Sunday? Okay, so teacher, why are you using the auxiliary verb do in here? Of course, because we have got two subjects, mom and dad. And that is what I told you a while ago. Okay? Do you have any questions? Okay, so none. No more questions. So then guys, let's proceed to the auxiliary verb did. Okay. When we want to use auxiliary verb did, it works in both singular and plural form. So it doesn't matter whether you will use one, two, or more subjects. It's okay. Just the most important is you're going to use it for the past. Like for example in here, my son did not play tennis yesterday. Okay, so in here we have the subject, my son. Son is only one. So in here we are using did. It doesn't matter even if it's one because we are focusing in the time expression yesterday. So that's why we are using did not. That's the negative form. Okay, and now let's have another example using a plural subject with the auxiliary verb did. Okay, so I will be writing the example here. We have Adam and, don't be confused guys, you can have the contracted form, meaning the shorter form. We can have it, Adam and Jovet didn't go to the party last night. But in here I just wrote the whole verb phrase, did not go. Okay, so in here, you have to locate the subjects. We have got two. We have Adam and Jovet. Again, it is okay to use did in here because I mentioned a while ago, again, you can use did regardless of the number of subjects. Like if it's singular or plural, there is no problem about it. Okay, so that is why this is a correct sentence. And again, we have got the time expression last night, so it refers to the past situation. That's why we can use the auxiliary verb did. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you wish to know more about the topic auxiliary verb, please comment down below. Bye bye!